Side Hustle Tournament Round 1. Lawn mowing versus dog sitting.
This is Napoleon and Constantine, and I was hired to give them 3 hours of friendship. But it was hard to get along with them when they wouldn't stop fighting. I thought that if I filled their food and water bowls, they'd calm down, but they were still going at it. So then I got the idea to give them treats, and that's when everything changed and they really started to like me. So I thought by then they trusted me enough to get on camera with me, but it looked like they just wanted a nap. So I let them rest, I got my $45, and then I went to go mow lawns. I knocked on doors until I found someone to hire me. So I got my equipment and started mowing. As a side note, I find these electric lawnmowers really annoying because you have to keep moving the cable out of the way. But after I was finished with the mower, I started edging. I went around the whole lawn to make it look nice and clean, and that's another satisfied customer.
The whole job took me 1 hour to finish, and I got paid $25, which means that lawn mowing wins. Side Hustle Tournament Round 1. Golf ball collecting versus money building.
I got to the golf course before it opened so I could try this side hustle.
Any golf balls you find are yours to keep, so you can sell them back to the golf course or whoever wants to buy them.
I looked around a bit until I discovered this bushy area where I found my first 3 golf balls.
It matches my shirt.
So I did a lap of the whole golf course looking in all the bushes, and in total I found 8 more balls.
I cleaned them, then listed them on Facebook Marketplace where they sold for $15.
And then I went to the bank.
Would it be possible to exchange this for quarters? Thank you very much.
I took my $20 worth of quarters home and started sorting them. Here I'm looking for special coins like this because they're worth more than 25 cents. In total I found 8 special quarters, so I researched what each of them were worth, and this is what I found.
That comes out to $8.28, which means that golf ball collecting wins.
Side Hustle Tournament Round 1. Can collecting versus online surveys. I went to the beach to start my search for recyclables. Each can is worth 10 cents, and I found my first one by this tree.
This is kind of gross.
I kept walking along the beach and I found another can on the sand and another one by some geese, but my biggest challenge was getting the bottle on top of these rocks. In total, I found 4 cans, so I said goodbye to the geese because it was time for me to go home and do surveys. I found a website that says it pays you for doing surveys, so I signed up and made an account.
I feel like I'm about to get scammed.
The first one took me 10 minutes and gave me 41 cents. The next one took much longer and was asking really boring and repetitive questions, but I powered through it and got my reward. I did 3 more surveys that hour and finished with $2.36. Both side hustles were kind of weak today, but since it made $2 more, surveys win. Side Hustle Tournament Round 1. Busking versus dumpster diving. I grabbed my guitar and went downtown to try out this side hustle.
I'm about to start busking, and I'm really nervous because I've never done this before, but we'll see what happens.
I started singing, and at first people just walked by, but soon enough they started to listen and even donate. I quickly realized that if I wanted to make money, I'd have to play songs that people already knew. I really enjoyed busking, and after 3 hours I made $92. Then I went around looking for dumpsters, but I quickly ran into a problem.
It's locked.
I tried a few more dumpsters, but they were all locked, so I had to resort to my backup plan.
All the dumpsters are locked, so instead I'm just gonna look for free stuff and see what I can sell.
I looked at a few piles of free stuff, and nothing caught my eye until I found this financial calculator. I made sure it worked, then I ended up selling it on Facebook Marketplace for $20. Since I didn't actually do any dumpster diving, I'm gonna say it's disqualified, which means that busking wins. Side Hustle Tournament Round 1. Pool cleaning versus Craigslist gigs. This pool is disgusting, which is why I was hired to clean it.
I have never cleaned a pool in my life, so I really hope I don't mess this up.
The first thing I did was use this vacuum to clean the bottom of the pool, and then I took some of these chemicals and poured them in. Finally, I used the skimmer to clean the surface of the pool, and this is the finished product. Then I went to Craigslist to see if I could find any gigs, but I didn't have the experience for most of them until I found this listing for a podcast editor. So I got to work editing and making cuts, and I even got to record some of my own lines. Don't forget to subscribe to Ryan K on YouTube. The whole job took me about 1 hour, and I got paid $20. For the first time in this series, we have a tie, but since the work was much easier, I'm gonna say that Craigslist gigs win. Side Hustle Tournament Round 1. Dog walking versus crypto mining. This is Napoleon and Constantine, and I was hired to walk them for exactly 1 hour. They're both really young, which means they have a lot of energy, but they burn out quickly. After a short break, we had to get going because the hour was almost up. We ran all the way back, and I was just in time to get my $15. Then I went mining for crypto.
I don't think this is how it works.
I found a website to mine crypto on, so I made an account and got started. What I didn't realize is that mining is a very slow and boring process, so I had to find some ways to pass the time. Once the hour was up, I had mined this much Bitcoin. And that amount is equivalent to less than 1 cent, which means that dog walking wins. Side Hustle Tournament Round 1.
Power washing versus flipping.
I had never used a power washer until I was hired to do this job. The power washer was a bit hard to control, but I was quickly getting used to it. That is, until it died.
Oh my god.
Luckily, I managed to fix it and get back to cleaning. I cleaned the driveway and the path on the side of the house. I finished the job in 2 hours and got paid $60. Then I went to Facebook Marketplace. Here, I'm looking for something I can buy, then sell for a profit. I found this $5 iPhone case, so I biked over to go pick it up.
Phone case secured.
I cleaned the case, then relisted it on Facebook Marketplace, where it ended up selling for $15.
And that comes out to a profit of $10, which means that power washing wins. Side hustle tournament round 1. Car washing versus gaming.
This car is absolutely disgusting, which is why I was hired to clean it. First, I sprayed it down, and then I started scrubbing it with soap and water. I washed the doors and the roof, and then I moved on to the window. It was kind of hard to clean the whole car with just a small sponge, but I think I made it work. I finished by rinsing off the car to make it look nice and shiny, which earned me my $20. Then I went to a Smash tournament. I had to pay $15 to get in, so the only way I could get my money back was by winning. I started my first match, and I got destroyed. I managed to win my second game, but then I lost again right after that, so I was sent to the losers bracket. I did pretty well on the consolation side, winning 3 out of my 4 games, which put me in 3rd. It was a lot of fun, but I didn't manage to win anything.
Since I lost money at the Smash tournament, that means that car washing wins. Side hustle tournament round 2. Golf ball collecting versus lawn mowing.
I found 11 golf balls last time I was here, and I wanted to see if I could find some more.
They should be super easy to find this time because now I know all the best places to look.
I checked in all the same spots as before, but I only found 5 balls, so I went down this new path where I found a lot more.
So many balls.
I did one final lap of the golf course, and in total I found 18 balls. So I cleaned them, then listed them on Facebook Marketplace where they sold for $20. Then I went to go mow lawn.
I knocked on doors until I found someone to hire me, so I got my equipment and started mowing. As a side note, I find these electric lawnmowers really annoying because you have to keep moving the cable out of the way. But after I was finished with the mower, I started edging. I went around the whole lawn to make it look nice and clean, and that's another satisfied customer. The whole job took me 1 hour, and I got paid $25, which means that lawn mowing wins. Side hustle tournament round 2. Busking versus online surveys.
I grabbed my guitar and went downtown to go busking. I started singing, and some people stopped to listen, but it took a while before anyone donated. I realized that people like to hear songs they know, so I tried to sing some popular music. I had a lot of fun busking, and in 2 hours I made $43. Then I turned on my computer and went to a website that pays you for doing online surveys. I finished the first one in 10 minutes and made 39 cents. The next one was much shorter but asked me some really weird questions. The last survey took a really long time, but it paid me well, and I finished the hour with $3.42.
Since I had a lot more fun doing it and it made me more money, busking wins. Side hustle tournament round 2. Dog walking versus Craigslist gigs.
This is Napoleon and Constantine, and I was hired to walk them for exactly 1 hour. They're both really young, which means they have a lot of energy, but they burn out quickly. After a short break, we had to get going because the hour was almost up. We ran all the way back, and I was just in time to get my $15. Then I went to Craigslist where I saw a listing for a small painting gig, and I managed to get the job.
I've never been much of an artist, so hopefully I don't mess this up.
I learned that I'd be painting the steps and walkway to a house, so I grabbed my equipment and got started. I got used to painting really quickly and ended up doing a lot better than I thought. The whole job took me 2 hours, and I got paid $40.
As much as I love working with the dogs, I didn't make as much money from it, which means that Craigslist gigs win. Side hustle tournament round 2. Car washing versus power washing.
I had never used a power washer until I was hired to do this job. The power washer was a bit hard to control, but I was quickly getting used to it. That is, until it died.
Oh my god.
Luckily, I managed to fix it and get back to cleaning. I cleaned the driveway and the path on the side of the house. I finished the job in 2 hours and got paid $60. This car is absolutely disgusting, which is why I was hired to clean it. First, I sprayed it down, and then I started scrubbing it with soap and water. I washed the doors and the roof, and then I moved on to the window. It was kind of hard to clean the whole car with just a small sponge, but I think I made it work. I finished by rinsing off the car to make it look nice and shiny, which earned me my $20.
Both side hustles today made me very wet, but since it made more money, power washing wins. Side hustle tournament semi-finals. Lawn mowing versus busking.
Once again, I took my guitar downtown and found a spot to set up to do some busking. This time, I got off to a really slow start, and it took a while before I made any money. So I tried singing some new songs, and eventually more people started to donate. I sang for 2 hours and made a total of $41. Then I went to go mow lawn.
I knocked on doors until I found someone to hire me, so I got my equipment and started mowing. As a side note, I find these electric lawnmowers really annoying because you have to keep moving the cable out of the way. But after I was finished with the mower, I started edging. I went around the whole lawn to make it look nice and clean, and that's another satisfied customer. The whole job took me 1 hour, and I got paid $25, which unfortunately means that my favorite side hustle is out because lawn mowing wins. Side hustle tournament semi-finals. Power washing versus Craigslist gigs.
Someone posted on Craigslist that their leaves needed to be raked, so I emailed them and got the job. I grabbed my equipment and got started, but I quickly realized that I didn't know what to do with the leaves, so I just put them into a pile in the middle of the lawn. I was working pretty fast and my pile was getting really big, so I took a break. I moved all the leaves into the corner of the yard and finished the job in half an hour to make $20. Then I grabbed my power washer because I was hired to clean this driveway. The power washer was a bit hard to control, but I was quickly getting used to it. That is, until it died.
God.
Luckily, I managed to fix it and get back to cleaning. I cleaned the driveway and the path on the side of the house. I finished the job in 2 hours and got paid $60.
After this video, only 2 side hustles will remain, and since it made more money per hour, Craigslist gigs is one of them. Side hustle tournament, the finals. Lawn mowing versus Craigslist gigs.
I went to Craigslist and saw that lots of people needed help clearing snow, so I grabbed my shovel and got to work. I was hired to clear a path on this person's driveway, but it took a while to get going because the snow was really deep. Once I was about halfway done, I was getting pretty tired, so I took a break to refuel.
My God.
I got back to shoveling and finished clearing a path in 1 hour to make $20. Once the snow cleared up, I got out my lawnmower and was hired to cut someone's grass. The lawn was split up into a few sections, so I started with the biggest one. Everything was going fine until I got to the farthest section where I ran into a problem with the cable.
It's too short.
Luckily, I had my weed whacker, so I cut the rest of that section, then I finished up by edging around the rest of the lawn. The whole job took me 1 hour and I made $25.
This one was super close, but since it made just a little bit more money, the winner of the side hustle tournament is lawn mowing.